Super Bowl.
Broadcasting from Radio Row inside the Mandalay Bay Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. You are tuned into Sideline Sports Talk Network's The W Show on 100.1 FM, Kansas City. Brought to you by Stockman Law Firm, The Soul of Santa, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services, Gates Barbecue, Positivity Water, Soiree Steak and Oyster House, The Right Tally Tax Preparation, Dillard's Zona Rosa, KC Wheat Spin 360, Derek Thomas Neil Smith III and Long Foundation, Phenomenal Kids Child Care Learning Center, XC Fright Studio Plush, Sierra Fonseca, hairstylist in New York Life.
Back inside of Radio Row, Mandalay Bay Convention Center is where we are. We have another guest that's joining us on the show. Dominique Foxworth, how you doing, sir?
Indeed. Doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me.
For sure, man. You hanging out down here, or what you got going on out here?
Just running around, just promoting my podcast, going on a couple shows, and then I got a live show tomorrow at the Jimmy Kimmel Theater.
Okay.
So enjoying the time until it's game time.
Yeah. Now talk about that podcast, man, because you've been all over the place, bro.
It's been fun. We trying to have a good time and also inform people. But it's going well. It's the Dominique Foxworth Show. We do it 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. Starting to transition a little bit into basketball and talking about these games, man. I'm having a hard time settling on who I think is going to win. I know what station I'm on. I know what I'm supposed to say. I know what I'm supposed to say. But I got to be honest. I'm having a hard time. I'm scared to say anything to bet against Patrick Mahomes ever again.
Same. Yeah.
I did it last week, and I was dead ass wrong.
I did it all season.
He's a resident Eagles fan.
And I was only right, twice this season picking against him? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's rough.
So on your where can people find your podcast?
Yeah, it's on all the places. Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we up.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a former NFL cornerback, it's going to be a game with 2 defenses, right?
Yeah,
which defense is looking best to you?
The Chiefs' defense is better right now. I think the Niners' defense has a hard time with running on the outside, and they got some issues in the secondary. Those great linebackers are really good, though, but I think the Chiefs' defense is really impressive in their dynamism. So they'll do a bunch of different things. So they have a complicated defense, which requires a lot of really talented and really smart players. Yeah. And the 49ers have started to add some complexity to their defense because in the past, they've always been it's kind of like cover 3, rely on the D-line to get pressure. Yeah. And now they're not getting that type of pressure. So they're trying to figure out new ways or different ways to challenge the offenses. And it's been up and down, frankly, for them so far this season. You guys saw it in the playoffs so far. They've struggled on defense, so we'll see.
Now, this team, of course, looking at the offensive side of the ball, they've gone up against, some good competition as far as defenses goes when you look at Buffalo Bills and then go into Baltimore. Yeah. What do you think Andy Reid's gonna pull out of his hat this week?
I expect them to do a lot of screens, honestly. The Chiefs have been an impressive screen team, and the tackles that the Chiefs have are not all that great consistently, where there are some really good pass rushers on the 49ers, especially Nick Bosa, even though Chase Young hasn't quite lived up to the first-round hype. But they still have Armstead over there and Hargrave. They have a pretty good front. I think you saw last week they did a lot of 2 tight end sets. The Chiefs did. I expect them to do a lot of that also to avoid putting Patrick in danger. Also screens and interior runs.
Yeah. Do you think this will be more of a low scoring, like gritted out, methodical drive, or do you think it'll end up being high scoring?
Yeah, I think it's going to be on the lower scoring side. It seems like the Chiefs have accepted that that's their best way to have success is like these short passes, not rely on the receivers too much, try to run the ball and hit the short passes and hope for big plays from that situation. And the 49ers are pretty similar in that they want to get the ball to their top players in space. So I don't expect a bunch of big explosive plays in this game, especially with that Chiefs defense. They don't give those up.
Yeah.
And if it comes down to Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes duel, who you think Brock Purdy got it?
Come on, man. Nah. I like Brock. He's all right. He's getting there. He's had some good drives, and he had some weird passes in this playoff series, but there's only one Mahomes, as you guys know better than anybody else.
Because that Detroit game, I really thought early that he was going to throw it away. It seemed like he was not necessarily really trying to force the ball, but it seemed like he really wasn't accurate.
Yeah, he threw some
a whole lot.
He threw some interceptable passes early in that game, and then the biggest play he had bounced off a DB's face mask. So, and then once he got away with those, then he turned it on. He was really good, especially in the fourth quarter. He was really good. So the Chiefs defense is going to have to capitalize on those mistakes because he's going to make some.
Yeah, and that's a confidence builder too, especially when the ball rolls your way. It does that a couple few times.
Wrong. Yeah.
Have you seen a team quite like Kansas City where they've had an up and down, and more people are like, oh, well, Mahomes, this is the same Mahomes, right? Like this defense is carrying the team, and then it looks like they're out of it.
Yeah,
and then they're in the Super Bowl.
Normally, teams like this don't make it to this point in the season, but it's funny because I think that Chiefs offense is a lot like the 49ers defense in that they started the season wanting to do a certain thing, and then they learned as the season went on that that's not how they're going to be able to find success, and they've pieced together a way to have success later in the season. And the Chiefs offense isn't what we've come to expect from a Kansas City offense, but it's still efficient when it needs to be.
Yeah. Like what is it with the 49ers not being able, because I mean they're probably one of the strongest D lines out. Like what is it that they aren't getting pressure? Is it defensive scheme? Is it
No, I don't know, honestly. Like I think they went and got Chase Young hoping he would be the answer to it, and he hasn't been effective. I think that it's just like some attrition with the talent that they've had there. Guys leave, guys get older. They try to bring in new guys to replace them, and they aren't getting the same pressure and sacks that they're accustomed to. And then you're getting time against that cover three. Like any quarterback's going to eat up a zone coverage if you're not going to get pressure on them.
Yeah. Can you give us a score prediction?
27-24. Kansas City.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for your time, sir. One more time, where can people find your show?
Oh, yeah. You can go ahead and download that podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever. Rate, review it, even if you want to download it. Give your boy some love.
Dominique Foxworth. We have more guests coming up later on today.
Go ahead, say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl.
Broadcasting from Radio Row inside the Mandalay Bay Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. You are tuned into Sideline Sports Talk Networks, the W Show on 100.1 FM, Kansas City. Brought to you by Stockman Law Firm, the Soul of Santa, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services, Gates Barbecue, Positivity Water, Soiree Steak and Oyster House, The Right Tally Tax Preparation, Dillard's Zona Rosa, KC Wheat Spin 360, Derek Thomas Neil Smith III and Long Foundation, Phenomenal Kids Child Care Learning Center, XC Fright Studio Plush, Sierra Fonseca, Hairstylist in New York Life,